Letting go feels like surrender, but it's actually a power move. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means giving yourself permission to grow. Welcome to Journeys Through Change, a podcast that inspires women to let go of the fear and say yes to possibility. I'm your host, Noelle Van, an author, creator, and empowerment coach who spent years in corporate America helping innovators and leaders ride the waves of change with ease and grace. I now work with women to step into change and unleash the power they have to create a life they love. Whether you're contemplating a change in your career, relationship, health, lifestyle, or anything in between, nothing's off the table. I'll be offering up simple insights to help you manage the ups and downs of change and sharing interviews with successful women who took a leap of faith to create the life they knew they were meant to live, sharing their wisdom, advice, and all the juicy lessons they learned along the way. So get cozy in your favorite comfy chair and let's get started. I wanted to talk a bit today about the topic of letting go. I've been watching many of my friends recently, and over the past few years, watching their kiddos graduating and getting ready for what's to come, I've noticed that it can be a really bittersweet time. Of course, it's a time of celebration and joy, but for parents, there can often be other emotions mixed in there too, when they face the reality of letting go of one stage in life and embracing another. So let's talk about letting go. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? Until you actually have to do it. Whether it's a relationship, a role, a dream that's no longer aligned, or as I said, your child heading off to college, letting go can feel like losing a part of who you are. But what if letting go isn't about loss? What if it's about clearing space for what comes next? In this episode, we're going to dive into why letting go is so hard, the psychology behind it, and then some practical ways to move through it. So first, let's dive into the psychology of holding on. The first is identity attachment. We don't just hold on to people or roles, we hold on to what they mean about us. So a mother may say, if I'm not a hands-on mom anymore, who am I? The next is the fear of the unknown. Letting go often means stepping into uncertainty, and the human brain prefers the familiar, even if it's unfulfilling. The next is grief and ambiguous loss. So some transitions aren't marked with clear endings. In the case of your kids going off to college, you still love your child, but the role changes, and that grief is valid. The last is control and habit. So we cling to what we can control. Letting go feels like surrender, but it's actually a power move. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means giving yourself permission to grow. Now, I want to give you some examples of instances where letting go may feel challenging. The first one is near and dear to my heart, which is moving out of corporate life. So I'm going to use myself as an example here. I was someone leaving a 20-plus year corporate job. And the moment I left, I thought I'd feel free, but instead I felt really lost. Now, what came up for me was not actually grieving the job itself, but the validation, the schedule, and the title that told me who I was for so many years. Have any of you ever felt that way? I like to say I honestly felt liberated and lost all at the same time, and those are two very conflicting emotions. Now, the great insight in this is letting go often reveals how deeply we've anchored our worth in our roles. So how do we move toward finding worth in this next phase? Well, we first do this by concentrating on turning around our thought patterns to support this new version of ourselves. I know I did a lot of reframing of my thoughts during my first year out of corporate because I was stepping out of a structured environment where I was following a certain set of rules for so many years and into something I was creating for myself. So it became a very different energy that I needed to put toward what I wanted to design for myself. And I knew I had to shed some old beliefs about myself and my value in order to step into this bigger version of what I wanted to be and what I wanted to create. So the next one is letting go of the perfect life plan. Does that sound familiar to any of you? I know it does to me. How about if you are someone who spent years chasing the ideal, I'm saying quotes in air quotes right now, the ideal relationship, only to walk away from it after only a few years? Now, even if it wasn't all that bad, it just didn't feel right. But letting go meant letting go of the story you may have told everyone, including yourself. And this can have a profound effect not only on you in the moment, but can have a lasting effect if you don't overcome the fear and allow yourself to walk towards something better. And this means letting go in the process. So why is this often so hard? Because sometimes we hold on to a version of life because we're simply afraid to rewrite the story. Now, the last example is taking us back to that empty nester, because this may be especially helpful for some parents this month and during the upcoming summer. As your child gets ready to leave for college, you know you are proud, but instead you may be experiencing strong emotions, and that can feel really hard. That can sometimes even make you feel like you are somehow secretly not being supportive, which is so not the case. But you must realize it isn't about saying goodbye to your child. You are also saying goodbye to the most active phases of parenthood. Now, there's a unique pain in letting go of the role of a full-time parent. For 18 plus years, you've been a caregiver, scheduler, counselor, meal planner, driver, emotional anchor, and it's difficult to let go of who you've been for so many years. When that shifts, it can feel like a void. Why? Because, first of all, your rhythm changes overnight and your home probably feels very quiet and your purpose feels fuzzy and you're probably wondering, well, now what? So for all the parents out there, here are a few things you can do. Number one, name the grief. Let yourself feel it. This is a major transition. Take the time to feel sad and let that emotion run its course. Number two, reclaim your name. Who are you outside of being mom? Reintroduce yourself to you. Who are you now and what do you want to begin exploring for yourself? And number three, create a vision board for your next chapter. Travel, create, lead, build, rest. It's your turn to decide this next phase and the way you want it to be. And then last but not least, I'm going to give you a couple of different ways that you can take immediate action. And this may mean reigniting a dormant dream, right? So think back. Was it writing, art, launching something, travel, a degree? Start small and take 15 minutes a week to revisit that version of yourself. Or it may be making a new chapter bucket list. List 10 things you want to experience or learn now that you have more time. You might really surprise yourself with what comes up. And the last one is start saying yes to you. Join that workshop. Take that solo weekend. Say yes to the thing that makes you a little nervous but wildly alive. Now, before I go, I have a quick little mini exercise for those of you in this boat, only because it's so timely right now in the middle of May, and I just want to give you something that you can potentially use that might help. Write a letter to the version of you who raised your child. Thank them. Then write a second letter to your future self. Who are they becoming now? These are just a few simple ways to reframe what's happening when the grief or difficulty of letting go gets in the way. Just know, letting go isn't about giving up control. It's about releasing what no longer fits so something new can arise. Whether you're saying goodbye to a job, a relationship, a child leaving home, or a version of yourself, this moment is your turning point. So today, ask yourself, what would I have room for if I finally let go? It's a worthwhile question, and the answer just may reveal more than you ever expected. That's it for now. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Journeys Through Change podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us and leave a review if you've enjoyed this episode. And share it with a friend or on social media to spread the good word, so more women like you can find us and join in on the fun. For more information on the podcast or Day by Day book, go to livedaybyday.com.